Greetings and salutations, fans and family, friends and neighbors, lovers and losers of all kinds. I'm Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom, and I would like to welcome you to Just an Observation. Today's episode of Just an Observation is going to cover a series that when I found it, I was hooked. Now, I love old-time radio, I love crime stories, and I love history, and this covers all of that. But for a good introduction, I'm going to let the radio show tell you what it's about.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories from the records and newspapers of every land, from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Mr. Thomas Hyland.
Today's focus episode is called Billy Bonney, Bloodletter, also known as The Kid. I'm going to let Thomas Hyland start the show like he normally would. Now, the introduction to the show that I played in the last clip was actually after this monologue. And this is how Thomas Hyland starts all of those episodes.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland with another true story of crime. Listen. 6 shots from a Colt 44, for no reason whatsoever other than to get your ear attuned to what you're going to hear. Of course, I might have said that the Colt 44 belonged to our hero, and our hero happened to be walking the field and plucking off railbirds, but he would have done that for no reason whatsoever, too. So, here we are. Our hero's name is William Bonney, a lad who was a product of his time, and whose time may be described as a blot. So tonight, my report to you on Billy Bonney, Bloodletter, also known as The Kid.
To give you an idea of the detail in which this series goes into the historic information that is available, I'm going to let Thomas Hyland talk to you about how Billy the Kid came to be.
William Bonney got to be 12 years old by being born in New York City in 1859 and being in Silver City, New Mexico in 1871. He was not tall for his age, but he was a smart one. Give him a pack of cards and say, "Billy, let's see you deal a full house from the bottom." And the boy's nimble fingers would flip 3 aces and 2 ladies in front of you quicker 'n shote with a cut snout. Or put a cue stick in his little fist, and if he didn't hit you with it, he'd run the rack. In rotation, like as not. Real smart. On a sunny day, you could see him walking down the shady side of the street, whistling and handling the oddments in his little pocket. A slingshot, a pair of dice, shaved, and a knife, razor sharp. There he goes.
Hi. I said hi, Mr. Garvey.
I'm playing cards, Billy. Get away.
I know you're playing cards, and I wish you luck. But I gotta talk to you.
Skedaddle.
My mother was crying this morning, Mr. Garvey. And she said your name.
Skedaddle.
Mr. Garvey.
Put that knife back in your pocket or I'll spank you. If you ain't the one, Billy.
Now, Billy dearly loved his mother, and he couldn't stand to see her cry. A good boy. He stabbed Mr. Garvey in the chest 3 times. Killed him. When he went back to his mom, he told her that he taught that Mr. Garvey a thing or two, and she did this. Patted her son's tousled hair, gave him $5 silver, and told him to get out of town. Billy did. I'd like to now pick out a couple of more highlights at random. Events in Billy's life before he was 17. Here's one.
Morning, Mr. Carpa.
Morning, son.
What you doing feeding my horse, Mr. Carpa?
Tain't your horse, son.
Tis.
Tain't.
Tis.
Tain't.
'Twas. Here's another one.
Kid,
Yeah?
Bet?
Bet what?
Like I've been saying. Bet you $25 I kill someone today before you do.
You mean it?
I mean it.
Stack me 25 on the table and I'll stack mine.
Sure.
Now it's a bet, all right, ain't it?
Now it's a bet.
Draw.
What?
Hot out there in the street, I'm staying here. So I'm provoking you to draw. You're an egg sucker, Tex.
Ain't no shorthorn like you gonna call me.
$50 on the red.
Let's fast forward in this story to after a lot of killing by Billy the Kid, among other things, and go to Governor Lew Wallace and this little exchange that may not be completely historically accurate, but it is a very good way to tell the story.
Hello, Governor.
Oh, hi, Billy.
Had your letter read to me by my partner, Charlie Beaudry. He says you got a proposition that's interesting to me.
I'm offering you amnesty, Billy.
What's that?
Don't wear your gun anymore, and no law is going to touch you.
I killed a lot of men, Governor. How come you're
Just
offering...
let's start having a little peace around here, that's all.
Oh, I'm for that, Governor. I've always been for that.
Well, now, I'm glad to hear it.
Except nobody'll let me be peaceful.
Well, it's going to be different now.
Governor, you know what'd happen I put away my gun? I'd be shot down like a dog. I could name 12 men shoot me down as soon as I see I was wearing no gun. There's Bob Ollinger.
It's going to be different.
You take Ollinger for instance. He's a deputy. He works for the sheriff. He'll be wearing a gun, won't he?
Yes. Yes, he would, but...
He'd shoot me like a dog.
How old are you, Billy?
18.
You got a lot of living ahead of you, son.
Not without no gun.
It's going to be different.
You say I got a lot of living to do, and I aim to do it, Governor. Just 'cause you say words like
amnesty.
Ain't no magic words to make me front Bob Ollinger, for instance, without no
Billy,
gun.
I've got something else to offer you.
What else?
When all the shooting's done, when the killing's over, how'd you like to be a sheriff?
Billy the Kid's last known victim was Bob Ollinger, a sheriff's deputy. And this is the way Crime Classics handles telling the story of the killing of Bob Ollinger and why it happened.
And then you know what? I'm going to tell you what, Billy. You're going to kill yourself throwing yourself against those bars. My name ain't Bob Ollinger. You ain't going to cheat the rope, Billy. They found you guilty and you're going to hang.
Before I do. You're
going to do what?
Kill me, Bob Ollinger.
You ain't killing nobody.
I'm making me a promise. I'm going to kill me, you.
Okay, Ollinger, I'll take Garden now. Explain to Billy how we're going to hang him. And watch how he does the thing. You got to watch him. He don't kill himself. See you tomorrow, Billy.
Now, you know what, Billy? That Ollinger's a man I don't like. He did a thing to me once, and I'm going to tell you about it. Tomorrow you're going to die anyhow, and you won't have a chance to tell anybody. Here was Ollinger, and there was my sister. My sister's dead now. Some people say... Billy, some people say... Billy, how'd you get my two-barrel shotgun out of my hands without me knowing it?
Open her up. Where'd I get me Bob Ollinger?
Room up in front where he sleeps. This time of night, guess that's where he just went.
Hi, Bob. You ain't laughing at all.
The last clip of this show that I want to share with you is the killing of Billy the Kid. Now, it's a short one, and it starts with a little bit of background as to where he was before he was killed by Pat Garrett. And this is how Crime Classics handled that.
You are serious?
Hungry, too. I'm going across to Maxwell's. Bring us back a something other to eat.
Billy,
What do you want?
be careful.
Petey Maxwell's my friend.
But be careful.
Let go of me. Let it go.
No! You say you'll be careful, I let go.
I'll be careful.
Kiss me. Hurry.
Somebody there? Somebody? Petey? Hey. Pete Maxwell?
Hi, kid.
And that was a brief overview of the series Crime Classics and the episode Billy Bonney, Bloodletter, also known as The Kid, which was originally broadcast on the CBS radio network on the 21st of October of 1953. Now, Thomas Hyland was played by Lou Merrill, and at the end, Sheriff Pat Garrett, was played by William Conrad, who did a lot of CBS work at the time. I want to thank you for watching Just an Observation, and I am your host, Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom, hoping that you will always, always live life as if awesome is a downgrade.